everyone, and welcome to another episode of Calculating the Annual Percentage Rates of ETFs. I'm your host, Dr. B. Today's ETF is called the SPDR S&P, the Standard & Poor's 500 ETF Trust. Many years ago, when I would watch Fox News on Saturday mornings, a gentleman named Ben Stein. Now there's a name you might know. He once had a show called Win Ben Stein's Money. Every week at the end, where his cohorts would promote their stock of the week, he would promote this stock or this ETF every single week. Every one. Every time. It would always be SPY. And here's the reason why. Why put your money anywhere else when you can put your money in the top 500 stocks in the United States? So if you take a look at the chart, 10 years ago, if you invested $10,000, your $10,000 would be worth today $39,884. Now, just like many other investments throughout the years, it took a dip. This took a dip around 2020 when COVID happened, and then it went up again. And then during the war between Russia and Ukraine, it went down for a while, and then it went back up again, just like many of our investments. So, year to date, the stock is up 29%. Last year, in 2023, it was up 26%. And it pays an SEC yield of 1.09% with a small expense ratio of 0.095%. This doesn't pay much of a dividend. A lot of good ETFs don't pay dividends. Don't ever buy and invest just because of a dividend. So, let's look at the SPY exposure. Well, number one sector is technology at 32.87%, followed by financial services, 13.3%, and then consumer cyclical at 11%, and then in fourth place, healthcare at 10.5%. Not much is invested in real estate and in basic materials. Now, what's in the top 10 holdings of SPY? Well, recently, I can only find information as of November 14th. So this is from about 3 weeks ago from when I recorded this. And number one pick is NVIDIA Corporation, 7.17%. It's made up of 307,750,000 million shares, or 307,750,000 shares is NVIDIA. Followed by Apple, 6.89%, or 109.2 million shares. And then Microsoft, 6.3%, nearly 93 million shares. And then Amazon, Meta, Google, Tesla, Berkshire Hathaway, B shares. And then Google again, or Alphabet, and followed by Broadcom. Those are your top 10 holdings in SPY. And you can see where I got the information from down below. So if you want to write that down, pause this video, write it down, and you can check out. You'll see it'll be the same top 10. Maybe a little different by the time you watch this video. But again, I always try to promote where I get my sources from. Now, I do listen to other talk show hosts, other podcasts, and one podcast person talked about RSP. Now, what's this? This is the Invesco S&P 500 Equal Weight ETF. I would not personally own this, and the reason why is it's up from $10,000 10 years ago to $31,171. Wait a minute, I'm making more of the spiders. So this is one that's equally weighted, where it's not quite diverse as you saw the previous top 10 with NVIDIA, Apple, and Microsoft. This one is more equally weighted across the board, which I'll show you in a moment. Now, is this doing wonderful? Yeah, it's up. It's doing fine. It's up year to date 18.8%. Last year it was up 13.7%, and it was down in 2022, like many other investments were, but it's not making as much money. And let me show you the reason why. Well, it does pay a higher SEC yield of 1.48%, but a little higher expense ratio of 0.2%. Again, you don't want to buy investments based upon the yield. You're not going to make your most money. You make your most money with growth funds. I've been promoting that since April. So let's see what the exposure is. Okay, it is still investing in technology, but only 16.6%, followed by industrials of 14.6%. I had a student one time, actually he's still my student when I sub in his classroom. He invested in an ETF that promotes industrials. So I told him, I said, you want to balance this out with technology and then buy a total stock market ETF. So he took my advice and bought XLK, which I'll talk about later on next year when it has my 1 year anniversary of XLK. And let's just say XLK is doing quite well. So he did well taking my advice. And this also has financial services, consumer cyclical. So it's more combined. It's more evenly spread out. But evenly spread out doesn't mean it's going to make you the most money. Let's look at the top 10 holdings for RSP. Well, we're only looking at a percent weight in top 10 from 0.39% down to 0.27%. So this will mean by equally weighted. It's not much weight at all. It's equally distributed. And these are only the top 10 stocks. And yes, you might know these companies. United Airline Holdings, followed by Palantir. Vistra, honestly, I never heard of. Axon, I never heard of. Tesla, yes, we all know about Tesla. And then down we see Carnival Corporation and Royal Caribbean. Those are cruise lines. And then number 10, I fly this airline a lot. That's Delta Airlines. So there's not much equal weight here where it says equally weighted for RSP holdings. Results. So let's compare the results for Spiders and RSP. So the Spiders, once again, made $39,000 or had revenue of $39,884 from initial $10,000 investment over a 10-year period. RSP gained or went up to $31,000 from initial $10,000 investment. So we have a difference of $8,713 gain from SPY. Where should you put your money? Now, you have the formula, if you watch my previous videos, to calculate the annual percentage rates. I'm not going to be doing that too much anymore for you guys. You have the formula. It's your responsibility to go back with my former videos and learn how to calculate an Algebra 2 formula. So, Standard & Poor's 500 APR is 14.08%, whereas RSP's APR is 11.53% annually over a 10-year period. Once again, I'll say this again, over and over again, past performance does not equal future results. So please go back and watch my former videos and learn more about annual percentage rates. And also, you may want to watch some of my videos where I'm doing some, let's just say, physical fitness, and you may catch me playing some guitar. Take care. Thank you very much. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another video on calculating the annual percentage rates of ETFs.